Welcome back to Carneades.org. Today we're just going to be doing a quick promotion of the chat that we had the other day with Kane B. So, a couple of days ago, I sat down virtually with the wonderful YouTube philosopher Kane B to chat about skepticism and rationality, though our conversation ended up ranging widely, touching on politics, doing philosophy on YouTube, and more. If you're interested in the full version, you can check it out on Kane B's channel or on XFi, where I have given us the animated faces of two famous skeptics for your viewing pleasure. For now, here are a couple of interesting moments I've pulled out of the discussion to whet your appetite.
It would also inform how I interact with other people. Like if I had a friend who was saying, "Hey, I'll just walk out the window," I would be like, "Whoa, wait!" Like, really think about that.
I have beliefs about what walking out the window will do to you, and that they aren't desirable. It would be great if we could go up to people and say, "No, you're doing something that's wrong, and I can prove it. Look at my, 10-page logical proof that shows you genocide is wrong," or whatever. In my idealized world, where that would be an effective argument against someone committing genocide. But I feel there's a desire to be able to say, no, we can prove this. We can show you that this thing is this way.
I mean, I can imagine anything at all. And in fact, I do. If I'm at the top of a building and there's a really boring meeting or something going on, then I might sit and imagine myself flying out the window. Occupy myself in that kind of way. But that doesn't. Again, like I'm not going to act on that. I find that actually, if I just kind of rehearse the skeptical arguments in my head and convince myself that I'm just hallucinating all of this, I sort of stop caring, and I'm like, I'll just go into the room and meet the new people and talk to them, and it's not such a big deal because I don't think they really exist. I come to accept that they don't really exist, and I go into there and I can just interact with them fine, and it doesn't bother me anymore.
You look at Plato and the philosopher kings. If philosophers are going to be the ones that are making all the rules, of course they're going to make a place for philosophy itself in whatever world they're constructing. And so I think there's this certain level of bias towards, I'm not going to take a position that's going to mean I'm out of a job, essentially. Yeah. I can't take a position that tears down the house because I live in the house.
Right. I don't really see that as biting much of a bullet, though, because I don't see that as being any more problematic than a whole load of things that are actually quite common in philosophy. I mean, if you look at people like, so a lot of people who are moral realists who want to be non-naturalist about it, people like Michael Hume, for instance, will say, well, ultimately, we just have this kind of intuitive access to the moral facts, right? It's just based on intuition. Now, to me, that seems as we just have this kind of intellectual sense of what the moral facts are. I mean, okay, I know that I'm simplifying here, but it may be a simplification. But ultimately, I think those sorts of views are no more plausible than people who think that they've got a direct line to God. I mean, to me, both of those views seem absurd, but I actually I don't know. I don't want to call them irrational. I think that I think that it's at least, like, let's say there's nothing wildly counterintuitive about saying that people like Michael Hume, even if I think they're wrong, they're still perfectly rational.
Okay, so I definitely take your points, and they're very good. I always approve of the general conclusion that most all philosophers are completely irrational, but so I might bite the bullet in the other direction. But no, I definitely take the initial point that, particularly in perhaps the fields of science, that disagreement is actively a good thing, that individuals pursuing different paths or working in different paradigms around similar problems may actually allow us to figure things out, or at least get scientific tools that are more useful, because there may be some situations in which one paradigm is more successful at achieving a goal, and other situations in which another paradigm. I mean, you think of how do we explain an individual electron? It's represented in different ways, from computer science to, electrical engineering to physics. They understand electrons in different ways, and working with those different models may actually be particularly useful for achieving a goal. So I definitely take that point. I think that that's a very good point around that our goal may not be achieving the truth of what is electron, but maybe to have some sense of using different models to achieve goals out of science. I don't know.
I think, I mean, I think probably the best counterexample to my view here would be somebody like Donald Trump, because
Yeah.
he was obviously very successful, and I mean, maybe his beliefs were consistent in some sense, but yeah. Do I want to say that
Whereas
he's a paradigm of rationality?
it was great to chat. If ever in the future you want to have a chat for a while about something, I'm always available,
Okay, yeah, cool.
and always available to procrastinate for 3 months and then eventually put something together. Let me frame it like that. Well, hopefully that has piqued your interest. This collaboration ended up happening because a viewer of both of our channels reached out to both of us and pestered us, though I required a lot of pestering. Kane was fantastic and willing to put up with me until we made this video. If there's anyone on YouTube you want me to make a video with, please let me know in the comments. I can't promise anything will come of it, but you never know. Once again, check out the full video on Kane B's channel or on XFi if you want to see the silly talking faces. Watch this video and more here at Carneades.org and stay skeptical.